poetry challenge, unstoppable. It is the 30-day poetry challenge, and I'm still here doing poetry live from Tulsa with my friends. We have Francis over here.
Hi.
We have Dan.
Howdy.
And we have Joe.
Hello.
And most of all, we have excellent poetry that is going to be read. And we are all going to read poetry. So it's just not me this time. So there's really a reason to watch this right now, okay? Something really good is going to happen, not just me. So we are going to start. We didn't really pick a order, but who wants to go first?
I can go.
Okay. Francis is going first, and we're going to come down here.
Hello. So I'm going to read a poem by Armin Tolentino, who is the Clark County, Washington Poet Laureate. This poem is called Field of Bullets, Medicine Bow. $45 of regular unleaded. My gas tank is a graveyard on fire. Most every species that once drew breath is fossil now, or oil. If I'm to die in this latest apocalypse, what would my body ignite? Whose escape could I fuel? Wyoming, too, is an unmarked grave, and the wind shears off an inch each year to flash the bones of another failure, felled by the hard hand of cataclysm. All my escape routes are paved on the backs of a billion extinctions. As the Cretaceous closed, did you gather your children in a field to gaze while you scooped in your two open palms the width of continents, a handful of celestial stones to scatter like snowflakes upon their gaping mouths? Or did you close one eye and aim? Thank you.
Love it. That was amazing. Who is that poet?
Armin Tolentino. Check him out.
That's great.
I know. I am so checking him out. As somebody who, sorry, I'm dropping things. So unrehearsed. As somebody who lived in Wyoming, that is true. That's the way it is. You've got all the oil fields and stuff. But I'm going to move over here. We have two other poets. Who are we going to do? It's going to be like victimizing. Ready? All right. This is Joe, and you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, I'm Joe. I write some horror and science fiction under J.N. Cameron, and I'm going to read one of my Shakespearean sonnets, science fiction sonnet, and it's based on a painting of mine. So it's called The Ghost Hammerhead of Oberon, which is the moon Uranus 4. Beware the airspace of Oberon, otherwise known as Uranus 4. Keep your craft on the side where it's always dawn. Don't be tempted by the sight of glittering ore. A specter glides around that moon, taking the form of a hammerhead shark. It guards a treasure of alien doubloons, hidden deep under layers of regolith and dart. Be you an ore pirate or an outer belt explorer or merchant of oxygen and H2O. Pray that you never experience the horror of the phantom kaiju that swallows ships whole. So hold fast, fly true, and please pay attention. That demon maw is a hole into a hellish dimension. The end.
Wow. Okay, Space and Time wants me to poetry. Just saying that. All right. Okay, so wow. Awesome. Thank you. See, I told you this is going to be way cooler than normal. And now we have Dan over here. Dan B. Fierce.
Hi, I'm Dan B. Fierce. I'm going to be reading, since I don't have any poetry of my own, I'm going to be reading from Space and Time magazines, winter 2016, issue number 127. I'm going to be reading Christina Isabel's Prey. The shortness of breath and a fast beating heart, hands wrapped in sweat, ears hear whispers in the dark. Trembling all over, fear has its prey. Get ready for the nightmares that come by parade. A typical cold night when rain hits the ground. You lie wide awake and the spirits surround. Pray all you like, but you open the door. And even when the sun rises, thousands of spirits will pour. Time is slipping as you try sending them back, but these spirits are hungry and you make a wonderful snack. Scream now with all your might. The dead have come gathered to feed their appetite.
Ooh.
Good reading.
I love this. You know what? This may have to be a thing, so I don't do poetry by myself anymore because we got so many great poets. I promised yesterday, because I found these, my story, everybody's heard this story before except for you guys, so I'm going to reveal you in a minute. This is how I discovered John Reinhardt, a poet friend of mine from, now he's in Maine, he used to live in Colorado, but he left these. These are one-page poetry books that he makes, and he leaves these in ashtrays and stuff, or wherever somebody might find them, and it is literally a sheet of paper. And it's copyrighted and everything, like, you know, you can't just steal his work legally. You know, you can, but you shouldn't. But yeah, and so I love these, and I always try to make these because they're such a good way to pass out poetry, and you don't have to, oh, like he signed that one, I forgot about that. You don't have to make a big deal about it. And so I wrote one, it's just a poetry sampler, and I happen to have some copies of this in my pocketbook, which is another great thing. And you can recycle. This one isn't. Somebody was bad. Used a fresh sheet of paper on this. But yeah, so anyways, you can do this. I say, please do this. And I've got instructions. You find a pocketbook on Instructables. But I will read a poem from that. Not like the poems that you just heard. Don't expect a lot now. Poems are like pre-mixed spices. Like a good masala, they add flavor to the bookshelf. Like dandelion seeds, they root and spread from the poet to the eyes that read and the mind that receives. Poetry is never right or wrong. Poetry is. And that's why you should be doing one of these. Leave it in an ashtray somewhere, and you might get a best friend, because on the back is your contact information. And we have all these amazing friends here. I think I'm getting everybody in. And this has been probably the best ever part of the poetry challenge this month, because it's shared, which is kind of what poetry should be. So thank you so much, you guys. So much fun. You guys are awesome. And we will be back tomorrow. Oh, and we're live from Tulsa. How cool does that sound? All right. Thank you so much. And go be writing poetry right now. Don't stop.